Yo, welcome back to Trippy Commentaries in our playthrough of Diablo 3 Ultimate Evil Edition, the definitive version for the Xbox One in this case. I'm RJ, joining up with Justin.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Retro Brett.
Nice to see y'all.
And Mike.
What's going on, everyone?
We are, I guess, rescuing some prisoners.
Well, here the last one is.
And this is pretty much the last thing we have to do before we face off with the Act 1 boss. So this is definitely a special episode. I think anytime you face off with the final boss in an act, it's always something to look forward to, for sure. Now, Justin and Retro Brett, you guys are the Diablo veterans. Has it always been like that? Is it always pretty much by act, and then the final boss of the act is just an epic boss?
Pretty much, yeah.
Absolutely, man.
Except in one.
The Butcher wasn't kind of a final boss, I guess. But I just remember walking up and you would always hear him say, what was the line, Brett?
Fresh meat.
And I remember hearing that hundreds of times, and it was hilarious. And unfortunately, his physical presence in the game wasn't very impressive. And I'm hoping for something better here on the new gen version of Diablo 3.
Yes, we are getting very close
Where
to
am I
the
at?
Act 1 boss. Will it be the Butcher?
I think
of course,
I spoiled that already.
we are looking for
I think we
Magda
all
here.
know who it is.
We know
It is
who
definitely
is.
the Butcher, but it's really interesting to see, what he will look like, or it will look like, as we know what it looked like in Diablo 1.
Yeah.
It's been a long time since Diablo 1
Do
was
you
released.
know what he looks like in Diablo 1?
Yes,
Sarah?
I did. I got curious, so definitely took a look, and it looks like your standard early PC gaming enemy.
Yeah, he looks like
Let's go this way.
he's like an oversized mutant cow kind of deal going on.
Yeah, remember the overlords in Diablo 1?
Exactly. And
Yeah, it looks like the same thing.
He did drop a decent weapon when you're playing early on in Diablo 1, the cleaver, of course.
Interesting.
But he really was never that hard, and it was more about trying to fend off the little skeleton guys around him and stuff, and the little whatever they were, double kick or something.
Now we are, of course, looking for the torture chambers. If you guys look around, you can tell we must be somewhere close to the torture chambers. We have hanging torture devices everywhere. Man, I'm not too used to using the melee guys, I gotta say. In my main playthrough, I'm using a guy that I use from far distance, and it's crazy how these huge monsters like to just tag team you and box you in. Definitely got to be careful for that.
Yeah, they do.
I think I warned y'all about that.
I'm very impressed by the AI so far.
This way, people.
All right.
Lead the way, Retro Brett. You are the leader.
So Brett, how would you describe this setting prior to facing the boss, the Butcher, compared to Diablo 1 when we were approaching him? It was kind of, it was
Totally different.
It was totally different, but it kind of had the same vibe with the spiky wall, things on the wall and stuff. And the one thing it is missing is a lot of blood. There was blood everywhere in Diablo 1.
Yeah, there's not too much blood in Diablo 3 there.
Well, I've noticed there's plenty of blood in Act 3. That's plenty of blood. Or I'm sorry, no, Act 4 is what I'm thinking of.
Act 4.
Act
The heavens.
4. We don't want to spoil too much, but yes, I think you'll see what I'm talking about eventually. This is pretty interesting over here if you guys want to check this out real quick.
Yeah.
It's just a cool little storyline
Talking
aspect
about
you can
blood.
check out.
Him beheading his wife.
Yeah, we all know what's going to happen here at the guillotine. And
Don't
there it
do it.
goes.
Oh, boy.
We had to watch it, guys.
Even more reasons to hate King Leroy.
Let's head down to
Yeah, as if you
the
needed it.
Halls of Agony, level 3.
I don't know. Before that, he kind of seemed like a nice guy. I mean,
Who,
yeah.
He
King
definitely
Leor?
was a nice guy.
I'm sure he was.
Turned to
I mean,
the dark
before
side.
that, though, now it's over.
Well, he's dead, so, again, so...
He's
not
like
worried
the
about
the Anakin Skywalker of Diablo, King Leoric. Man, plenty of
We could use
fire
some-
around here.
We could use some lightsabers. That'd be cool.
That would be nice, especially as I am the monk. I think that'd be a cool weapon for him to become a Jedi. So just to kind of fill you guys in once again on who each one of us is, I am player 1 at the bottom of the screen currently. I am a monk. Currently got, looks like a blue garb. Not too bad. I traded legendary weapons with Retro Brett, so now I have this two-handed sword.
The giant sword. I mean,
Yes.
I'm happy with the weapon or the trade because he had the weapon that is used for the Crusaders. So I was trying to get it. Remember last episode I was trying to get it from him, but
Yeah, worked out nicely.
he was not in a sharing mood, I guess.
Not willing to trade. I want to keep my weapon legendary at all costs. In fact, that's my goal is to get legendary on every one of the equipable spots. Mike, you are the witch doctor who looks
Yes.
pretty trippy, I gotta say. How's he doing right now?
Really good. I'm impressed with him. You know, the moves get better as you level up, obviously. But yeah, got some really cool stuff. Really cool mask.
Yeah. I haven't found a mask that good with mine yet.
Yeah, that is really impressive.
Definitely. Good find there. Alright, we have some blue lasers of death.
Watch out.
Justin, you of course are the demon hunter.
Yeah.
We were looking at him off screen. He's right next to me, player 4, the purple. You can see he's got green pants, which they kind of remind me of wrestling pants. Also, I don't know, maybe something from I guess a demon hunter. You just look definitely like somebody who would be going to take out Dracula.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you with the wrestling pants. They remind me of an old time wrestler. His name was Ultimo Dragon. I know Brett is aware of him. He was,
Oh, yes.
He was one of my favorites in the WCW days.
Hell yeah.
Other than that, I don't know, man. I mean, I've never seen pants that color in this game until then. So
I did get a with the wizard. I got a robe the same color as that, and it wasn't that good. And I wanted to wear it for just the color,
yeah.
but you know, of course, I found something far better. But yeah, that's pretty dope. Let's fight on. The Crusader is definitely looking like we were talking about Vlad the Impaler off screen. Retro Brett, I know you've been contemplating switching up to your favorite character, which is the Barbarian.
Well, actually, I was playing both my Crusader and my Barbarian last night on the PC version, and I forgot how badass the Barbarian is and how non-badass the Crusader was.
Damn.
I've heard good things about the Crusader, but mine is, I think, level like 15 or so I still have a long ways to go to get badass. It takes a while. These characters don't really start off too good.
But I want to go back to something you said about Dracula or something.
Yeah.
Oh, yes,
The
of course.
trailers for the new movie looks pretty badass.
Yeah, it's always nice to have a good Dracula movie coming out. I think Twilight has
We
shamed
definitely wanna go-
vampires,
We definitely
so
want to
hopefully
go
they
that
can
way,
put
people,
them
so
back in the
try to
game.
go that way.
What are you talking about?
I've
Where we
got to
going?
say the best Dracula movie is probably Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Oh, yeah.
Directed by Francis Ford Coppola, I believe. Starring Gary Oldman, I think it's like 92, with Keanu Reeves, Winona Ryder. That's by
Yeah.
far the
Really?
best, at least in modern times, the best Dracula.
I don't know. This new one looks pretty good too.
Hopefully, maybe something we'll have to look at as a channel here and maybe cover for you guys.
And yeah, the new one, I think it takes place in the time of Vlad the Impaler, correct?
Which ties in both our references.
That's
Nice.
awesome.
Well, Vlad the Impaler is, of course, Dracula
Yes.
in some myths
Yeah.
or whatever.
True.
All right, let's go ahead and fight our way through. Hopefully, we are getting closer and closer to the torture chambers and Magda.
No, not Magna. I think you
Whoa.
mean the Butcher, don't you?
Well, we're looking for Magda,
Indeed we
Retro
are.
Brett.
Really?
People who have not played the game don't know about the Butcher. So, you know,
Well, I think
Trying to surprise him.
Obviously, keeping the Butcher as the boss here,
but we've talked about it multiple times.
Blizzard is going along
You're just
with.
giving me shit. I know.
It's a tribute back to the original games. I mean, if
I'm
they
not
didn't have the
stupid.
Butcher in this position in the level, like as one of the supreme bosses you have to fight. It just wouldn't be a true Diablo.
Yeah.
We are on the right track, by the way.
And as someone who didn't play Diablo 1 and 2, I still appreciate the fact that they're bringing back, aspects from the prior games. That really gives you a feel for the scope of the universe. Mm-hmm. Pretty cool stuff, especially with Cain, of course, who's now deceased at this point of the playthrough. And he is deceased, Retro Brett, because Magda killed him
Yes, she did.
in cold blood, and we must destroy her for that.
We will, but...
Uh-oh, this area looks ominous.
Alright, so yeah, looks like we should be here approaching the boss soon, hopefully. It's feeling a
lot of blood.
A little tiring. I must say,
Yes.
though, there's no mystery to the labyrinth that we're in. It's like a direct path kind of where you're going for the most part. The old Diablos, you would just have to be lost for a while.
Well, here we are.
Find your way.
The Chamber of Suffering. There's Magda. And what is that? What the hell is that behind her?
Doesn't look friendly, whatever it is.
Meet the Butcher. And unfortunately, as we've alluded to multiple times so far, we are not going to face off with Magda quite yet. We're going to have to wait our turn. Fresh meat. Interesting. So there you have it. There's the nice little
Looks
Easter
quite
egg.
different than the Butcher in the first Diablo.
Mm-hmm. So here we have it. This is the Act 1 boss. I think this is one of the best bosses in the game just because it has an epic battlefield here. You have fire coming up, and it just gets more and more difficult. It's going to be harder as a character who's going to have to get up close and personal to strike him.
That would be me and you, RJ.
Yep. And
I don't know what you're doing over there.
And this is where
we gotta go.
Oh yeah, this is where Justin's flip maneuver there definitely comes in handy. He shouldn't have a problem with the flames because even if they come up, he can pretty much get out of the way with no problem at all.
I thought we were saying something off screen about the pants. What does that remind you of? Doesn't it, you said something about it has a poison cloud around you or something?
Oh yeah, the attributes with those Ultimo Dragon pants included like a poison cloud. But it depends. There has to be 3 enemies within 10 yards, and then it's 272% damage when these people are in my cloud and all that. It's just
Your cloud.
Wait a minute.
I know, but it's a poisonous cloud coming from my pants.
Really?
Questionable source of this poisonous cloud. But for the demon hunter, you never know what's
Really?
it could be a demon.
Your
fart or
special
something here.
ability is farting. Interesting.
But I was just wondering, there was one point in time here where the whole arena, except for the middle square, was on fire.
Hell yeah.
I
Pretty
don't
cool
remember
stuff.
that being in the PC version. That's kind of unfair there.
Not so much. I mean, this is pretty cool. This reminds me of
Zelda
like a mini
battle
game
bosses.
or something.
It reminds me of the Zelda battle bosses from like Link to the Past when you're stuck on a certain
I'm
area,
trapped
you
up
have
here.
to dodge them. Certain parts of the
Okay.
level or the floor rather are like activated.
Uh-oh. Watch out, player 3.
He's almost gone.
Oof.
No, I
Crusader, you were in the fire there, but your defense is definitely good. You're a tank.
I guess
we didn't
so,
start
man.
the fire, fellas, but we sure put it out.
There he goes. The Butcher has been
Butchered.
slaughtered.
You've been butchered.
I was really surprised. Like, I could stand in the fire all day long and it wouldn't hurt me that much on this one.
Yeah,
Well, we have
damn.
vanquished the Butcher.
Take a look at that cleaver, though. Like I said, in Diablo 1, you got a weapon, and it was probably like a meat cleaver for a real butcher, like, a foot or a foot and a half.
Yep.
This one's like damn
Yeah,
near
look at
10
that
feet
shit right
tall.
I thought you were going to say something else there, Justin.
I don't know. I don't know
Let's
where you're
start
going
with
with
that
that, but, yeah,
Cleavage.
I don't know what you're thinking, Brett, but
Sure you do.
let's
Cleavage.
keep this PG for our Trippy Com fans and friends.
Oh, yeah, of course, because we have a lot of elementary schoolers watching this.
Damn it, let's get back on track for fuck's sake. We have a
More
evil ritual
sacrifice.
here. Yes, a demonic ritual we have to interrupt here. Let's do this. Damn you, fuckers. Stop doing what you're doing. In the name of the
Fuck's sake.
Lord Trippicus and Hagrid. All right, we sure put an end to them. That'll teach them.
The strange.
They won't be
He's
praising
dying.
any demons anytime lately. Oh, the strangers was. Oh man,
The stranger was getting his ass whooped.
he was this. He was in their demonic ritual there.
Ooh, look who it is, Brett.
We
Our
rescued
old friend from Diablo 2.
Ariel.
Ariel.
And this is pretty much the whole thing there for Act 1. This is the big finale finish.
Yeah.
Now we all know.
And I must say, when
Stranger.
I first played the PC version, I was a little like, whoa, like I kind of had an idea it was someone from Diablo 2.
Someone talked to him.
But who would it be? And you know, it was Tyrael, and that he was one of my favorite characters in Diablo 2. So
Yeah,
it was cool
pretty
to see that.
All right, guys. So what can we expect from from Tyrael going forward? Is he going to be someone who's going to help us kick some ass?
He's gonna try.
I mean, apparently he's immortal. I know in the last games, as I saw Retro Brett played, he was an angel.
Right.
Definitely not an angel anymore from the looks of it.
Yeah, I think in order to come to Earth, he had to, give up his immortality. So therefore, he
Oof.
susceptible to death. But
Interesting.
he's doing it for a good cause, you must say.
Yeah. So looks like he's friendlied up with old Leah over here.
Well, I believe later in the game there might be an explanation to how he became mortal.
Oh, no doubt. There definitely will be an explanation. We'll learn more and more as the game continues.
Now we have to bury the old fart.
Hey, that's no way to talk about the deceased Deckard Cain. He helped us out. He helped us out so much in 1 and 2.
He did.
And here in 3, in fact, he seemed to be the one guy who knew what was going on, and
He
he's
always
already
knows what's
dead
going on.
in Act 1. He didn't last too long.
Not anymore.
All right, guys, let's talk to the caravan leader, and we'll be seeing this message quite a bit, but you don't get it until you finish the entire act. It basically tells you you're finished with this area, and we're heading to a whole new area of the world here in Diablo. Let's see what we have next, shall we?
Where are we
Oh, yes.
going?
Of
Yes,
course,
we
you
shall.
have a little countdown action as it loads. All right, so on to Act 2, fellas. We are in the desert.
Wow, this is totally different.
I will say,
Nice.
it's not the best of acts. In fact, it's not nearly as good as Act 3 and 4 to come, which really get crazy.
Oh yeah, Act 3 is probably my favorite.
But, this one's still pretty cool, that's for sure. We're going to go ahead and sell some of our stuff off screen, guys, as we did pick up a lot of items, and we're here in a local village. So let's do that. We'll meet you guys on the other side. All right, we did some trading once again, as Retro Brett and I both got the Executioner, but it was 2 different versions. I didn't know that you could get different styles of the same weapon. That actually surprised me. I figured it would be straight across the board, so I put one in the chest, but this one actually has a socket. Unfortunately, none of us have any gemstones.
That's the one I got, so I very kindly gave it to RJ there.
Show off what you got, though, because you got a new weapon, rather than, of course, you using the Executioner. Actually, never mind. I'm sorry. You've been.
But I do need to equip this again. So.
That'd be good. But you still have Odin's Son, which I know you said is perfect for your character.
Yes, it is.
All right, let's go ahead and talk to Leah and see what she has to say, as we are in Chaldeum. Belial, oh boy.
Bastard.
So Belial's going to be the theme of this act here, as
He's pretty badass.
he is, I guess, one of the brothers of Diablo.
Indeed.
No.
He's not?
No, only
That-
Mephisto
that
and
Baal.
Baal are
Yeah.
black brothers
Okay.
to Diablo.
All right,
I
well,
was gonna say, indeed, he is not.
we'll learn more about him as we continue then.
Belial.
This is one of the best looking areas in the entire game, the Chaldeum
I
Bazaar.
agree with you.
Looks absolutely stunning. I actually showed a couple of my friends who aren't into video games at all. When they saw this, they were like,
Who's
wow.
not into video games? What the
Quite a
hell?
lot of people, believe it or not. Those people just haven't seen the light.
So this is the Chaldeum Bazaar. I was gonna say Chaldeum kind of reminds me of a little bit of Loot Galeen, Brett.
Oh, definitely.
A little
Oh,
bit
yeah.
or a lot?
A lot.
And
It's based off of the same.
and I have a feeling we'll be going to some of the same locales that we, you know.
It'll look the same. I don't think it'll be the same.
They don't look the same, but it's the same idea, you know.
Oh, we gotta talk to Enchantress.
It's the same feel. It's the same design, but upgraded.
Now, one gripe I have with this act was I was really excited to get into that awesome area, which, you know, is just so vibrant, but you immediately leave and head into the wastelands here of the desert, where things look kind of repetitive around here.
Right.
But nonetheless, I always like desert areas. Going back to Super Mario World 3, desert area is always pretty cool.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the desert areas in Diablo 2. You know, just like this area, there was a lot of hidden caves and such, and
I want to say
you kind of had to find your way around, though. It wasn't just, you know, a straight path, and you kind of had to explore, and sometimes you would get ambushed and you died. So Diablo 2 certainly had more of a challenge in the desert areas.
I want to say the desert area in Diablo 2, Luke Lane was more satisfactory as well.
Yeah.
Both gameplay wise and except for the graphics, visual
Of course.
wise.
Yeah, it was a vital place because, as we mentioned in a prior episode, you could hire a mercenary to help you, but his stats would amplify your damage sometimes as such to where it would be crazy hundreds of thousands of damage or whatever. And Loot Goleen was the place to go to buy those guys. So you'd have to travel back to Act 2 even though you were doing all your work in Act 5
Yeah.
and acquire these mercenaries. And they would die quite often. And you would equip them with some of the best equipment, and their stats would just help amplify your guy, and your guy would be pretty much unbeatable.
I never really got into the mercs much in Diablo 2.
Yeah, I kind of fell into it by accident by just playing with a guy in a session on Diablo 2, and he told me all about it, and I started doing it, and my damage tripled, and I was like, whoa, what's going on here? So unfortunately, they don't really add that aspect to Diablo 3, and it's good because it made it, even on the hardest level, it made it a little too easy at times.
That's Enchantress.
I was getting excited just when I picked her up. I'm like, hey, how you doing?
How you doing?
Yeah, she's wearing some skimpy clothing here, but I can assume it must be pretty hot around here.
In the middle of a sandstorm, yeah.
One thing I really enjoy about this area is the music. It's very environmental, very cool. Just to end off this episode, one thing I noticed even when I hadn't played the prior Diablos is the music always seems to be top notch, and definitely continues on to this game. Were you guys fans of the soundtracks in the first two Diablos?
Definitely one.
Absolutely, Diablo 1. The town theme, that's something
the most epic theme probably I've heard in a long time.
Yeah, anytime I try out an acoustic guitar, that's the first thing I play usually. Just those opening chords. It's so easy to play, but it just sounds so good. You can really hear the resonation of an acoustic guitar. And it's some of the best soundtrack music in a video game ever. And that was 20 years ago almost. And I've enjoyed Diablo 2 and Diablo 3's music so much. And if there was only a way I could get it like on a CD compilation so I could listen to it, all the time.
You noticed there, Retro Brett, you needed a heal job, and I came over and did a magic attack, so
I knew
to
someone
speak.
needed a heal job, but I didn't know if it was me or not.
It was you. I know, it's hard to keep track of our characters here. Thanks again for joining us for this episode, guys. We are fighting our way through the desert, perhaps looking a little bit like Tatooine, for those of you who know about that. Thanks again. See you guys in the next episode. Stay tuned as we fight our way through Diablo 3. We will defeat Diablo and whoever else is thrown at us. I'm sure there's a lot of demons of hell that are going to want to start to kill us after we took out the Butcher and soon enough, Magda. Stay trippy, guys.